Hello all, a very good morning to everyone. And as part of the lecture series on Indian economy, today we'll discuss the changes in agricultural sector from 1950 to 1990. So as we know that after independence, the then government had tried to implement the land reforms. So the main objective of the land reforms is to confiscate excess land from the landlords and to distribute among the landless, right? So the following points which are going to be discussed right now are part of the land reforms, right? So point number 1, abolition of intermediaries. So more than 200 lakh farmers who are tenants were freed from exploitation and ownership was conferred on the tenants, right? So as a part of land reforms, the intermediaries were abolished. Intermediaries are jamindars, the then jamindars. So land was confiscated from them and nearly 200 lakh farmers were benefited after the distribution of land from the jamindars. And this gave incentive to increase the output. So how the land ownership enabled the tenants to increase the output? Because the amount that was being paid to the landlords was invested to increase the productivity of the land. So in that way, ownership led to the increase in the production and productivity of the land. And however some jamindars exploited the loopholes in the law, and they had become a hurdle for the implementation of the land reforms. So we can say that from this we can say that land reforms were partially successful, particularly in few states. In remaining all states, land reforms were not successful. And next point in the land reforms is regulation of rent. After independence, almost all the states enacted laws for fixing the rent payable by the tenant cultivators. So prior to the laws with respect to regulation of rent, the tenants were exploited with a huge rent by the jamindars or the landlords. Okay, so in order to fix a certain amount of rent throughout India, the government has made regulation of rent laws. And of course, most of the states adopted these laws with respect to the regulation of rent. Okay. And of course, each state has a different rent structure, which varies from 25% to 40%. What is the meaning of this? 25% to 40% of the production of their land. Okay, that is the rent structure. And the tenants cannot be evicted as per the law. That means prior to these laws, the tenants were removed from their work as long as they enjoy the privilege of the landlord. Yes. Meaning the landlord can remove the tenant based on his discretion. And this pattern was changed by the Regulation of Rent Act. However, in most of the cases, the law remained only on paper. Right? These laws remained only on paper. They hadn't been implemented. The next point under land reforms is land ceiling. Okay? What is the meaning of land ceiling? Land ceiling means it is the maximum size of land holding that an agricultural household can own. Okay, so it is the maximum size of land holding that an agricultural household can own. It is called as a land ceiling. That means land ceiling means through this act, the government had set a limit on land holding in order to control or in order to confiscate the land from the then jamindars. So the surplus land is acquired and distributed among poor farmers, right? So the main objective of this land ceiling is to reduce the concentration of land ownership in a few hands. However, this was successful only in the states like West Bengal and Kerala. Okay. Only few states, particularly West Bengal and Kerala, successfully implemented this land ceiling policy. Right? So this abolition of intermediaries, regulation of rent and land ceiling, all these land reforms were initiated in order to distribute the land or distribute the ownership, particularly to distribute the ownership among the poor farmers and to increase the production and productivity of the agricultural land. So this is the main aim of the land reforms. Yes, and the next point under land reforms is cooperative farming. What is the meaning of cooperative farming? See, cooperative farming is nothing but pooling the resources or coming together. So instead of cultivating 1 acre or 2 acres, a group of farmers will come together, they will pool the resources and they help each other to cultivate the land. So that is the model of cooperative farming. So the main objective is to encourage the consolidation of the gains, right? If a farmer is cultivating land on his own, if anything happens to the cultivated land, then such farmer cannot bear the loss. If a group of farmers come together and if they work together, they will share the loss as well as they will share the profit. So this will provide some security to the farmer. So this is the main objective of the cooperative farming, right? So it is encouraged to enhance bargaining power of the smallholders in the competitive marketing structure. How the bargaining power will increase by cooperative farming? If you have a huge production with you, you can bargain it for a good price. You can sell it for a good price, right? You can sell it on in a wholesale market, in a bulk way. It will increase your bargaining power. That means all the farmers will stand on one word, one price. So that is the meaning of increasing the bargaining power by cooperative farming. And however, it resulted only in marginal improvement, meaning only few areas in India are implementing this cooperative farming, right? So what are the objectives under the land reforms? The first objective is abolition of intermediaries, and the second objective is to regulate the rent, and the third objective is land ceiling, right? And the fourth objective is cooperative farming. So my dear students, the land reforms are very, very important for your exam. So please do focus on these land reforms. So let me summarize again. What are the main objectives of the land reforms? The main objectives of the land reforms is to increase the production and productivity of the land through transferring the ownership from the landlords to the poor farmers. Right? Yes? Oh. Then in the next video, we'll discuss the Green Revolution, its objectives, achievements and failures. Thank you very much.